Are you Tony Stank?
I am Iron Man.
Stank, stank, stank.
Genius billionaire playboy from the past.
You stank. You stank.
I am Iron Man.
And that's as much fun as Secret Invasion will ever have. Hello and welcome to Stark or Stank. My name is Aaron. I'm here with Josh.
I wish you weren't.
This week we're talking about Secret Invasion, a limited series, thank fuck. As we're going to rank it into the MCU, I think this
No one will ever guess where it's going. I think this is the first time you and I have, spoken about rankings ahead of time and just been like, so this is, this is going here, right? And we're like, yep. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? This came out in 2023.
We're getting
the final
closer.
It actually came out, almost to the day. It started 2 years ago. Here's some trivia for you. Look, there's not a whole lot of trivia about this, but I will say there is trivia. The original Secret Invasion comic was an event that affected the whole Earth. The writers scaled down the scope and made it a spy thriller starring Nick Fury and Talos.
Yeah, I've read that original Secret Invasion story. It's quite interesting. There's a lot of characters that turn out to be Skrulls, and there's a lot of stuff that happens, a lot of implications, and it's
yeah.
I don't know if I'd say it's good on the whole, but it is interesting.
I think it's all right. Anthony and Joe Russo had previously expressed interest in adapting the Secret Invasion comic to a film, as the big event stakes and the prospect of heroes working with villains caught their attention. Obviously, that didn't work out. We got this piece of shit instead. But here we are.
I will say going in that, the idea of turning it into a spy thriller focused on Fury, I don't hate it. The setup, there's something there.
Well, yeah, I think the first few episodes, all the setup is, decent.
Yeah.
It just never pays off, and it never goes anywhere, and they don't do anything interesting at all with it.
Yeah, and, the things that they do to kind of shock and keep people engaged just come off feeling like wasted opportunities, and why'd you do it? Now
Why'd you do it?
You're never going to see Kobe Smulders ever again.
Nope. Here's a great bit of information. The opening credits were created using AI technology.
And everyone clocked it immediately.
Everyone loves AI technology, and this was 2 years ago when it was sort of, starting to build.
Kind of getting into the scene, and people were, figuring out exactly what the ethical, standpoint should be on that.
Yeah. And they went and did it, and boy, is that an opening.
I can totally look at that and be like, I get it. I get why you would do it. And there is an ethical way to go about that. You would hire an artist or a team of artists to make stuff and then feed it into the system as a reference and get it to do things. And it makes it an uncanny sort of deal, right? It's Skrulls hiding as humans. They're not actually humans, but they're close. They don't quite pass the squint test, maybe. That, I understand it conceptually, but fuck me. What are you doing?
Look, I'm just gonna we're just putting it all out here. By the end of episode 6, Gaia has the powers of Ghost Captain America, Corvus Glaive, Thanos, Outrider, Proxima Midnight, Captain Marvel, Abomination, Mantis, Cull Obsidian, Black Panther, Drax, Korg, Ebony Maw, Frost Beast, that's hard to say.
Yeah,
Hulk,
Frost Beast.
The Chitauri, Valkyrie, Thor Odinson, Gamora, Flora Colossus, and the Winter Soldier.
What fucking powers does the Winter Soldier have? What?
I mean, I don't know. You would think it's the same as Captain America, but...
And you would think that both of those powers are sort of superseded by literally everyone else that they have powers of.
Imagine if they just she just grew a metal arm.
It's like, ah! No, they actually just implanted a bunch of, like, trigger code words in her.
That's what it is.
Train car.
Yeah, so that happens at the end of this. I'm
feel
not
like
gonna
it is-
read.
Yeah, please, go on.
I'm not gonna read a whole fucking synopsis for this show. Instead, we're gonna just talk about what we fucking hate about it.
It needs to be said, though, that we did the homework. Trust me, I sat through 6 episodes of this and was like,
Yes.
yeah, this show, it's alright.
Mm-hmm.
And that feeling very quickly faded. And then we got to the end, I was like, that was fucking dog shit.
Yeah, like I said, the first few episodes are a decent setup.
They established
the-
tone really nicely. There's a couple
Yeah.
of characters here and there that are, like, kind of interesting, and I like some of the dynamics, but, like, they don't do anything with it. So much unrealized potential.
Hmm. I think I said to you, like, this is like a what if spin-off thing. Like, they should just never acknowledge anything that ever this has just never happened. Just bring back Maria Hill, bring back Talos, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, and it's not like I feel particularly strongly about Talos. If that character never showed up in the MCU again, I'd be like, oh, that's a shame. I like that actor, but whatever. Maria Hill, that's a bit bigger, because she's been in things, and everyone likes Kobe Smulders. But, like, those are the only 2 super consequential things that came out of this. We start at a point, we take a big, long loop to get back to the point, but we're missing 2 characters by the end, and that was... Why did we bother? We do have a Super Scroll now, but she's kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
And also not an interesting Super Scroll, because she can just do everything.
Yes.
You know
She
what's
has
fun
literally
about Super
every
Scroll?
power.
The Super Scroll is like, he's like the Thing, and he's like the Human Torch, and Mr. Fantastic, and the Invisible Woman all rolled into one. It's like 4 superheroes rolled into one. That's a neat idea. You know what's not neat is having fucking everything all the time.
Everything.
Fuck.
Here's the plot. Nick Fury discovers a clandestine invasion of Earth by shape-shifting Skrulls who have infiltrated various levels of society. Fury joins forces with allies including Talos, Everett Ross, and Maria Hill to stop the impending Skrull takeover and prevent a global conflict, is what it says. Which invasion would be... It's right there in the title. Great setup. That's a great idea.
It's a solid premise.
See all these shape-shifting beings coming to the planet and disguising
Anyone
themselves as other
Skrull.
Everyone's a Skrull.
How do we know that Fury's not a Skrull?
Yeah, he's not though.
No one
Just Nick
is.
Fury.
There's like one person who I suppose they sort of reveal through the course of the show that it's like, oh, that was a Skrull. Oh, big reveal. But it's like the way that
It's
that
given away
character's acting
so
is so fucking out of character
that
it's like, of course he's a fucking Skrull.
So I got this off Reddit. And I agreed with a lot of the points this person made. So these are all the points. These are all the things that piss me off about the show.
Who's the Redditor that posted this? Make sure you credit your sources.
Some person on Reddit. Hang on. Look.
I hope
Secret
they have a really good dumb name.
Invasion. Hang on. Let me look. Just hang on. I'm gonna do it.
I'm hanging, I'm looking, I'm doing it all. I got the Super Scroll powers of someone who can hang out and also look. Those are the only 2 powers I got. Charismatic podcast presence? Nah, nothing.
Nah, definitely not.
Here? In this economy?
Nah, don't got it. I can't even find the post anymore.
It's disappeared. It appeared to you in your hour of need, and then you copied everything you needed from it, and then it disappeared into the fucking mist.
That's it. Oh, hang on. Wait, nope, not that one. I don't know. Anyway, if you recognize it, thank you to whoever wrote this. But I've also edited
you're
it.
a true friend.
I haven't just taken it word for word. And there's things I didn't agree in the post that I've left out. But these are the things I agreed with.
Sure, you've editorialized it a bit.
Yeah, sure. Maria Hill died for nothing. She's dead for this piece of shit show that goes nowhere. And like you said, they killed 2 people for no reason. It starts somewhere and it ends in the exact same place, and we've learned nothing.
Changed.
And
well, one thing has changed, but it's very dumb.
What's that?
The president makes a super vague threat to all aliens on the planet.
Right? Yeah, he did do that for some reason.
Why? And then I looked at the actual news. I was like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah. They spend the first 3 episodes telling us Nick Fury is not the same anymore, and then by the end of the show, nothing's changed.
He seems pretty similar to the Nick Fury that we always had.
Yeah, he came down looking like a sailor, and then at the end, he's back to being regular Nick Fury, but like he doesn't make any changes, no progress. You know, when the first images of Nick Fury from this show came out, I was like, oh, maybe he's tricking people. He's come down. He's gonna, or maybe he's a Skrull. Maybe he's a Skrull. Maybe he's like, once you start watching the show, he's putting on an act. He's like, oh, I'm so frail and fragile and old.
I've lost my groove.
Yeah, and then like, you know, maybe at the end of the show, he's like, haha, tricked ya. I'm actually Nick Fury, and he's furious, and he's like,
furious.
Yeah, and he starts kicking. I'm Nick Too Fury, you know, because like Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, no, I got it. It's okay. We can
and then I'm Nick Fury, Tokyo Drift, you know.
Yep, I'm back on board.
Okay, I'm not.
And I fell off.
But then nothing happens.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what the specific perceived character like progression is here, because like they talk about how he's not been the same since the blip.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he missed something, his instincts failed him, and he's just a broken down old man now.
Uh-huh.
But I'm struggling to think of where the point in Secret Invasion is where that switch is flipped and he goes back to being the old Nick Fury, because it doesn't seem like anything ever actually fucking happens.
No, nothing happens. Literally,
is it because Talos died? Is that it?
No, like because he's still acting like after, like he's still. This is one of the other points. Fury never even gets a frontal confrontation with Gravik. You know, the whole point of the show that supposedly building towards, and instead walks into a hospital and shoots some guards, because fucking Gaia is the one who confronts Gravik and pretends to be Nick Fury. Like, what? Yeah,
like Gravik clearly has issues with Fury, deep-seated issues with like an actual interesting conflict there. His people have been used for decades now as a fucking private spy force, secret spy force that the actual spy force didn't know anything about. Manipulated and used, all on the promise that they were going to get their own like home planet thanks to Captain Marvel, and that never comes true. So, you know, he's bitter. It makes sense. That's an interesting character to sort of play around with. Never actually gets to like culminate in anything. Instead, he has a life or death battle with the prodigal child, fucking Gaia, who the whole Gaia thing is just fucking.
She's so boring. She's so boring.
It's a character arc I've seen a million times, done a million times better.
Yeah, but she's not. Yeah, she's not like. Yes, like they could have made her an interesting character, but she doesn't do anything, and has no personality. She's just there, and like this says, like Talos' death feels like it has no repercussions apart from giving Guy the single "You killed my father" line.
Mm-hmm.
And like
she was already like helping them. She was already turning on Gravik.
Yeah, but then also like, you know, she leaves Gravik and talks to her dad, and she's like, "What are we gonna do, Dad?" And he's like, "I don't know. I guess we could talk to the president."
I don't know, mate. Let's go build a Star War.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, we can talk to the president, and they'll be like, yeah, for sure. Like, we love aliens, so no probs.
The
And then,
president of the U.S. Big fan of
and
aliens.
she's like, "You're dumb, Dad," and she leaves, and then he
She's correct.
dies. Um, that's the thing too. Like Talos doesn't do anything in this show except like just do whatever Nick Fury asks him to do, and
Like,
then
he and Fury have a couple of like old married couple arguments, which are,
yeah,
compelling conversations. But I don't. I'm not here to watch conversations necessarily.
there are some good conversations. I think. I think
there is the train one. The train one's a good one.
I think that there are some good relationships, like Nick Fury and Talos is cool,
Nick
and then
most of his like allies, him
his
and Falsworth
wife
are
and
interesting. Oh yeah, and
yeah, his wife's really cool. But then yeah, it's just like, but nothing ever comes. It's
I didn't.
Nothing ever comes from any of it. It just goes nowhere. These relationships are like he gets back and he sees his wife and it's like, well, you've been gone, and he's like, yeah, I'm back now, and then he leaves again, and she like goes and gets a gun, and then she's got to kill him, and then she doesn't kill him though, and he doesn't kill her, and then
Yeah, like that's an interesting little sub story. It doesn't really resolve, and it doesn't affect the main plot. But if there was a better main plot for this to sort of revolve around, I could be like, oh well, that's a neat little aside. I'm into that.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it has nothing substantial to really cling on to, I'm just like, we've wasted that now. That's a shame.
Yeah. Why is this here?
It's really neat that Nick Fury is knowingly married to a Skrull. It's like, well, you never would have expected that. One of the more interesting things they do with the Skrulls. But also, they reveal that one fucking instantly.
Yes.
They never... I understand they've got 6 episodes to play with, and they're not super long episodes, thank fuck.
There is like a moment at the end of that episode where she's a Skrull, and then he walks in, and like she's just a woman.
Yeah, so
and it's
for
like,
that week,
does he know, or like whatever? Right? Yeah. So like you're saying, yeah, for that week, you're like,
when it was released weekly.
Yes. And then, but like, if you're watching it now, you instantly know he knows. Like, it's as the beginning of the next episode, you know he knows.
Yeah.
So just that mystery is completely gone.
Even just by an episode, reveal it at the end of the next one, maybe. But like, we don't need to know that he knows. Not yet.
Right.
It's
Skrull Rhodes is so cartoonishly evil it makes the president look even stupider for not figuring out something's wrong with him.
He's a real dick.
He is. Like in the first scene he's in, like it's like, yeah, that's Rhodey, and then like the second scene he's in is like, no, he's definitely a Skrull.
Yeah. Like the first one's him at the fucking trial, well, not a trial, but like a council meeting. He's doing something official,
something like that.
And he makes a note of like, if this representative of this country looks at me like that one more time, I'm gonna carpet bomb them. I'm like, okay, that's something that Rhodes would say, because he's like, he thinks he's funny, but he's not.
Right.
And then like the next interaction he has with Fury directly is like, oh, this isn't him at all, because like those two are fucking bros. They love each other. They're great.
Yeah. And then a spy thriller ending.
Is Rhodes the only like surprise Skrull that isn't? Well, that is like a super obvious, but like, is it the only one that's played as a surprise?
Yeah, that's
the only one. The ones I can think of are like Fury's
no other
wife,
reveal,
which is paid off immediately, and also Fury at the very end when it turns out to be Gaia, but we don't care.
Yeah, that's
Why would you ever have an entire plot revolving around like a shape-shifting species of aliens who specialize in subterfuge and not use that?
I don't know.
I think they like pretend to be Fury in a fucking security camera thing once. Like, do they pose as him when Maria Hill gets shot?
Yes.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Gravik shoots Maria Hill as Fury.
Yeah, that's the thing where it's like, oh, well, that's an idea.
It's an idea, and then fake Rhodey later on tries to use it like blackmail. Like,
Yeah.
I've got footage of you shooting Maria Hill, and that doesn't go
never come
anywhere
up.
either.
That never comes up again.
No. Oh, I mean, he mentions it. He says, "Oh, everyone's gonna know that you did it any second now," but that nothing comes of it.
But also, it's fucking Nick Fury. If he's gonna shoot one of his subordinates, then, like, it's Nick Fury. The man
That is
saved
true.
the planet so many times, I think you can give him a little leeway.
A spy thriller ending in a big CGI battle between two aliens feels out of place, and Gaia could now solo every single confrontation that happens in the MCU from now on.
Yeah, like, even if it was just that she had the Captain Marvel powers, that would be enough. Like, fans already have this discussion of, like, well, Captain Marvel makes everything irrelevant now. Which, you know, you want to argue about that shit and be nerds, fine, fair enough, but, like, she doesn't. This kind of does. And now she works for the British government, which is weird.
Uh-huh.
God save the Queen and all that.
So...
Yeah, the bigger problem here is that spy thriller ends in big CGI punch 'em up between two of the exact same character. We love a mirror match. It's our favorite. It certainly hasn't been a con in, God, a lot of the first two phases of the MCU.
Yep. They've done it a lot.
Iron Man,
You did
Doctor
here
Strange,
again.
Captain America, Captain America 2,
Black Panther.
Black Panther. Fuck.
It's a lot. Anything else you want to mention before we move on to Starks and Stanks?
All
right, let's move on to Starks. Okay.
There is one really dumb thing. Like, there's one particularly interesting sequence where Talos and Fury, like, infiltrate a British admiral's house. I want to say admiral.
Yep.
And because they're about to, like, launch an airstrike or a naval strike on it might be Air Force One, or it might be just another jet of some kind.
I think it's Air Force One. Yeah.
And they've got to go on this, like, little sneaking mission into the house, and they hold the guy at ransom with his fucking kid at gunpoint, and they're like, you know, stop the attack, call off the attack now. They end up just killing the guy and then getting the information from Gaia, which makes the entire thing fucking useless.
Irrelevant. Yeah.
Why'd you...
And like the kids there, like, you're not gonna kill my dad, are you? And he's just like,
no.
If he gives us the information, and then it immediately dies.
So dumb. And the last thing is, like, they so rarely use the Skrull fake out twist that they have in the back pocket the entire time. And the one fake out they do actually use is the Gaia has become a super Skrull thing and thus hasn't died by being shot at. It's like,
right. That's another thing.
Like,
that's another thing where, like, at the end of the episode, she gets shot. It's like, oh, I guess she's dead, and then you wait a week and then find out, oh, she's not dead. But again, watching it now, where you can watch it one after the other, she's dead, and then immediately sits up at the beginning of the next episode.
Yeah, this series, I feel, definitely plays better week to week. It's not good, but it plays better. It's not enough to save it, though.
It's not. Let's talk about our Starks and our Stanks.
I was going to say also, it is funny that Fellsworth is, like, related to Union Jack.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's talk about what we liked, and what we didn't like the most in this show.
Oh, it's hard.
I don't know. I'll just go first. I don't know who went first last time.
Yeah, fucking
Starks. Actors are mostly good, especially Gravik and Olivia Colman's character. They're they're both really good. Olivia Colman especially, she's fun. She's a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I think most of the actors do well with what they're given, except for Gaia. But
Yes.
what's your first Stark?
Sort of just bouncing off that one, I find a lot of the character dynamics interesting. Mostly the stuff between Fury and his allies. Stuff with Talos, the stuff with Sonya Falsworth. That stuff's really neat and interesting. You don't often see Fury get to like interact with people on his level. It's usually him and subordinates.
Right.
So that's kind of neat.
Yeah. My second Stark is it ended.
Yeah, could have ended faster. Could have been a movie.
It could have ended faster. That would have been great. Yeah, but no. I'm just
Could've just
glad that
been
it did end.
Hour and a half movie.
Or
Or
it could have been.
a special presentation, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, a special presentation.
We've only
Let's
had
do a
2 of them.
40-minute one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, what's your second star?
My second Stark is I like the tone. The tone is solid.
Sure.
It doesn't pay off to anything, but they build it well.
Okay, sure, yeah. It has a tone. Sure. Let's talk about our stanks now. My first stank, while the dialogue is mostly fine and there are some decent character relationships, the overall plot is lazy and poorly thought out. The first 3 episodes have a decent setup, but the last 3 do nothing with those setups and the plot goes nowhere.
Yeah, I'll be honest, my first stank is very similar. It's a spy thriller without any thrills.
Yeah,
Perfect setup to do
pretty
interesting
much, yeah.
rug pull twists and shit, and you just don't fucking do it most of the time. And the ones you do, you see from a mile away.
Yep. Yeah, it's just, oh my god, it's such a, they could have done so much with this.
I think the worst part of it is, like, it's bad, but it's also boring. I could abide bad and interesting.
Right. Yes. Same. My second stank is Gaia fucking sucks.
Fucking, is this a 2 for 2? Yeah. Secret Invasion puts a lot of focus on Emilia Clarke's Gaia, but when compared to other Skull presences, she's just kind of boring. And also, like, I like that actress in things
I
that
like
I have
Emilia
seen her
Clarke.
in.
Yeah, she's cool. And
Zero screen presence here.
and they give her the most powers at the end, like
And
like
they
all of a
look
sudden
bad.
they all look very bad.
The
Not
tiny
great effects on
Drax
these.
is my favorite.
Yeah. With his tattoos.
Oh. If someone took my genetic DNA, would they get a dumb hand tattoo as well?
According to this show, yes. Absolutely. There you go. That's Secret Invasion. Now comes the part of the show where we rank the show.
Would you like me to go down the list of our current one?
Yes, please.
This is going to be the longest section of this podcast.
Yeah, this will be.
Our current ranking of the MCU as of the not last week, but like the start of the month. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at number 1. Captain America the Winter Soldier at number 2. Thor Ragnarok at number 3. Avengers Endgame at number 4. Iron Man 3 at number 5. Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Avengers Infinity War, Captain America Civil War, Thunderbolts, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Werewolf by Night, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Moon Knight, The Avengers, Black Panther, Daredevil Born Again, Hawkeye, Captain America the First Avenger, Loki Season 1, She-Hulk Attorney at Law, WandaVision, Ms. Marvel, Eternals, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man Homecoming, What If Season 1, Iron Man, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Spider-Man? Spider-Man, Far From Home, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Spider-Man No Way Home, Black Widow,
Spider-Man.
Thor Love and Thunder, Thor, The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers Age of Ultron, The Incredible Hulk, Captain America Brave New World, Thor The Dark World, and at number 45, Iron Man 2.
Interesting.
Now,
All right.
you went first on your Starks and Stanks, would you like me to deliver the
yeah.
final blow?
Where do you think you should rank? Where we should rank Secret Invasion in this list?
Well, we've got Iron Man 2 at number 45, and I think it should stay there.
Okay,
Because I think Secret Invasion should be at 46.
Great.
Somehow.
Somehow Iron Man 2 has finally been knocked off the bottom of the pile.
It gets to stay... It's not so much that it's taking a step up, but the ladder is being pulled up and it's clinging to the bottom of it.
Right, that's what it is. Secret Invasion, right there at number 46, sounds like the perfect place for it.
The only way I could abide it in my mind is like, well, Elon Musk is moving up in it, but at least generative AI gets to sit at the bottom. That's
Yay!
something. I'll take that.
That's progress.
Is it?
I guess. I don't know.
Lateral progress.
Lateral. Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that.
We don't need to read all those again. Secret Invasion's at the bottom.
Yeah, it really is. Fuck.
I was prepared for Iron Man 2 to live there forever.
Yeah.
Down the bottom, but yeah, no. Holy shit.
It wasn't until you had started watching Secret Invasion and were messaging me about it that I was like, shit, this is gonna be at the bottom, isn't it? Because, like,
yep.
It's competently made in a lot of places. It's shot well. Performances are fine.
I think it's shot well. I think the actors do well with what they're given.
It's just that the material itself isn't great.
I think the fight scenes are really bad too. We didn't really talk about those, but like there's like a single shot where Talos comes in and he like unarms a guy, like takes his gun and he like beats him up. He does like the most like fumbling around fight choreography, and then the guy like falls on the ground and Talos is like yeah.
You reckon that was just Ben Mendelsohn just fucking like actually beating up a dude?
I don't know. It was so awkward. But yeah, it's a lot of that and like bad shootout scenes and
I feel like if you're gonna do the whole like down to earth spy thriller thing, you need the tone, which they got. You need some like big shocking twists and like rug pull moments, which they didn't have. And you need like grounded action sequences that feel gritty and real.
Yeah,
don't have those.
They don't have those either.
So yeah, failed on almost all marks.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when they do like the ungrounded stuff, the CG's just fucked.
Yeah, it is. Terrible show. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
No. Yeah, if you're doing like an MCU rewatch, maybe just skip this one. And until it becomes relevant, keep it that way.
Yeah, unless they
really
do some crazy
comes
thing
up in like Doomsday or some shit where this becomes fucking relevant.
That'd be crazy.
I'd die.
Yeah, I can't imagine them ever wanting to reference this ever again. The fact that like Nick Fury goes from this to the Marvels and you don't see his wife, there's no reference to any of this show in the Marvels.
The last time we see him before this is on the Saber station, right? And that's the post-credits of Spider-Man?
Yes. That's where he's
that's Far From Home, right?
Far From Home.
So that was a while ago. So that's the last time we see Fury then. And then the next time is the Marvels. And nothing in between that could have happened and we'd be none the wiser.
No, exactly. You can
just
literally
notice like a suspicious lack of Maria Hill in movies going forward.
Exactly. I mean, when did she even show up?
Far From Home, but that was a Skrull.
Yeah, it turned out to be a Skrull.
Yep. Fucking Spider-Man gets better Skrull reveals than this does.
That was like a post-credits thing anyway. That's a post-credits scene.
Yeah, it is too.
Mid-credits,
one
of those.
It's a pre-credits, but it is post-story. It's like the very last thing that they reveal.
I
no
feel
one
like it's
else-
a credit scene.
You reckon?
Mm,
I remember
Scr-
Maria. I remember Scroll Maria and Scroll Fury in like a
Far
car talking to
from
each other.
home.
Because
Credits.
Far From Home's credit screen is the fucking. They revealed my identity, Mamma Mia. You know, Italian Spider-Man.
Here we go. Do, 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 do. Okay. Mid-credit scene is like the reveal of like Peter Parker being Spider-Man. Yeah, and then the end credit scene is the scroll reveal.
Okay, it is the very okay. My mistake.
Yeah,
I'll wear that.
there you go.
Hey, they showed a lot more restraint than this fucking thing does.
Yeah, fucking hell, goddamn, what a piece of shit. I
I love-
remember being like, this was fine. Like at the end of it, I was like, fine. Like I didn't like the Gaia thing, but like whatever. Like it was fine. And then, but
Yep.
watching it back, it's just oh my god.
Yeah, watching it end to end, and it is like one of the less painful watches in terms of runtime. There's only 6 episodes, and I think the biggest one is like 45 minutes or something.
The first 3 are like 40 minutes, and then the last 3 are like half an hour.
Like, we're getting the shit in the can.
Yeah.
We're finished.
They really could have just condensed this down to a movie. Like
Just
it
done,
didn't
like,
need to be 6
3
episodes.
3
Oh, yeah.
hour-long episodes, fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Uh,
it would have been, like... Usually if you make a bad thing, my general thought is like, well, you tried, it exists, and it doesn't hurt anyone by existing. But, like, this is an interesting concept that you can't use again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing. Is like this is completely
wasted this
wasted now. They
storyline.
can't do another secret invasion. Like this was their attempt at it.
I don't know, man.
And
The
it's
fandom
done.
website says season 1. It's always potential.
It's
Not
done.
after this.
Not after this.
Speaking of after this,
Mm-hmm.
what's
We're
next
gonna-
on
we're
the
gonna-
Stuck or Stank agenda?
We're going to talk about Ironheart.
Hey, new stuff.
New stuff.
You seen any of it yet?
The first 3 episodes are out. I haven't watched it yet, but I might watch some after this. Yeah, first 3 episodes are out, and then second 3 episodes are next week, so we'll be
Another
able
6
to
episode
talk
one?
about it. Yeah, this is a 6 episode. Some good reviews too. Like,
I've heard positive things.
yeah, it sounds like it's a banger. Unless you look at the the user scores, it's getting review bombed for some reason.
I was going to say, I did see that those were quite negative, but this was also 20 minutes after the show had gone live.
Yeah, well,
Like, that's not enough time to watch an episode, motherfucker.
on Rotten Tomatoes. They were review bombing it like an hour before the show even dropped. So, yeah,
I fucking
don't
wonder
know.
why. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the lead being a woman or black.
No, obviously not. It's obviously they just
Nerds
know.
are totally more reasonable than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
God,
Anyway.
I hate nerds.
It's at 69 on Rotten Tomatoes at the moment with the critics, so it sounds like it's fine. We'll see.
I've seen a
We'll see
couple
how
of
we
gifs
go.
here and there that are like, I'm really glad that this isn't doing the whole nanotech thing. I'm kind of sick of nanotech. You know what I mean?
Wait, does nanotech?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, it's looks like it's a return to Iron Man 1 of like she's building a suit and
It's
it's
a
like
chunky suit that you step in and
Yeah.
out of.
yeah, which I like.
Yeah, I
Need that.
think nanotechnology is the worst thing that's ever happened to superhero movies.
It was cool for that one shot at the beginning of Infinity War where he like does the thing and it like forms around him. That was cool. But yeah.
Fucking Black Panther uses it too. Like every superhero, I understand that actors, their face is their job, but wear the fucking mask, idiots.
Yeah, especially when you're getting paid millions of dollars.
Just wear the mask. I don't fucking care. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. I don't care that you're not going to get any exposure. Wear the fucking mask. Maybe it'll come off in a fight scene, but wear it for most of the fucking movie, please. I swear to God.
I was watching something.
Don't just CG it on. You remember Green Lantern? Don't just CG it on.
Right. I watched something the other day about like maybe it was like Corridor Digital or something. They were talking about MCU effects and stuff, and like how like Iron Man, because it's so grounded, and RDJ was like actually wearing like armor up here for a lot of it. That him just wearing that like helped blend it in with the rest of the effects, right?
Sure.
And then when it gets to Civil War and he's standing at the fucking airport and it's his whole CG body and it's just his head and it's just like floating in space.
Right.
It makes it a lot.
I imagine
without
harder to like composite. Is that the word?
Exactly. When there's just when they have to cut his head out and stick it onto a CG thing, it's so much more obvious that he's not actually there.
And like, even if it like comes up looking okay, I imagine that's a lot more work.
Yeah. And also they went back to like Iron Man 2 and they were like, well, he's not wearing a suit. He's not wearing the suit in this, but he is wearing a helmet. And even just the helmet, like, just makes it so much more believable because you get like the shadows on the face from the helmet and everything, right?
Like it is casting actual things into the physical space.
Yeah. So, I like when there's like a physical like suit or something for the actors to interact with. That's not just like...
We love a physical costume. We love props.
Yes. It's good shit.
It all helps.
Big fan. Everyone should go watch 28 Years Later too. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I'll
completely
get to it
unrelated.
in October.
But physical effects, good stuff. There you go. That is our podcast about Marvel movies for this week.
Gave it all the time that it deserved. Probably more, honestly.
Yeah, probably. Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you again next week for the podcast, where we will talk about video games and movies we've watched, such as 28 Years Later.
I haven't seen any video games around here.
Do you see any?
Maybe next week. Nah, not right now, but maybe next week.
I've got this. This is video games right here.
Are you gonna go date your
all of the
refrigerator?
video games. I installed every single Switch game that I own. I got a SD card. The choice to put every game I own.
Yep. Great choice.
I will say this case I got is annoying. Anyway, we can talk about it later. Bye everyone.
Bye.